before the internet, 1 in 4 people, 1 in 4 adults couldn't read or write, but now nearly 9 in 10 adults are literate now. So if technology made us less intelligent, why has literacy increased by 13% since the internet?
Hello and welcome to the Birmingham Media Literacy Project. We're here having a debate, and today I'm delighted that joining me is children from the Archbishop Ilsley School. And these students, let me tell you, they're not tackling a small topic. Oh no, they've gone for the big one. Their proposition is around whether technology negatively affects the intelligence of human beings. So not a small topic. Oh no, we're going for the big ones today. Now, I've got some students who are thinking, yes, that technology does negatively affect, and some students who think, no, actually, we think it's fine. So we may have a battle on our hands here, but I'm going to start off over here. Sukaina, I'm going to get you to tell me why you think technology does negatively affect the intelligence of human beings. It's a big proposition.
Even though it has made life way easier, it has caused people to rely less on their own thinking and their problem solving.
Okay, have you got evidence for that? Do we know that's the case, or do we just think it, do you think?
No, researchers have proven this. Research has proven this.
Okay, all right. And is it just that people are relying on it too much, do you think? Is that the only argument against it?
No.
Tell me another one.
So there's addictions. Many people are addicted to their phones, that's technology. They have over 24 hours, which is extremely unhealthy for the human brain, especially if they have school or they have an important day next. They won't be able to focus properly, and the concentration will be harder.
Okay, I feel we're going to come back to the addiction word later in this discussion, but Jennifer, do you want to tell us some more about this? Why it is you think that it negatively impacts?
I think it negatively impacts everyone, because technology, many people use it for homework and stuff, but instead of actually researching it and using it for learning, we just search up the answers and for homework answers and
sort of cheating, isn't it?
Yeah, instead of learning. It's 31 to 43% of people use it for learning, and 75 to 95% of people use it for complete tasks.
Cutting out the work, as it were.
Yeah, just answers.
Those are really startling figures, aren't they? Are those new figures? Where did you get them from? Do you know?
I researched about it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, those feel like fairly strong arguments, to be honest. We'll be coming back and testing them, I feel certain. But bearing all that in mind, Damien, I'm going to come to you next. What do you think? Here we're hearing that people who are using new technology are cutting out the hard work. How can you be saying that it's a good thing?
Because before the internet, 1 in 4 people, 1 in 4 adults couldn't read or write, but now nearly 9 in 10 adults are literate now. So if technology made us less intelligent, why has literacy increased by 13% since the internet?
But is it just to do with the internet? I mean, not everything on the internet is bad technology. I mean, my guess is that you can use the internet, but not use the AI and all the other sort of shortcuts, if you like. Is there evidence to actually say that it's the internet that has actually brought around that literacy?
Yes, because there are many courses online that help with your literacy and languages.
So it's people accessing it in that way?
It's much easier to access it now.
Yeah. Okay, and now, again, that's a strong argument, because it's saying that the technology is really enabling people to find the information to do the work, whereas you were saying they aren't doing the work. Right, well, we'll keep on with the arguments for. So, Ibrahim, tell us again another reason why we shouldn't be worried about technology shortcutting.
It's more efficient and it's way quicker, rather than having to go to a library and get a book and having to find the exact same page, where in under 5 minutes you could figure out the information summarised to you. So it saves you a trip to a library or going to a newspaper and all that.
You can't see any benefit of putting in that effort? You think that's wasted time?
Sort of, because I think it's easier to find just the information quicker and summarise to you.
Right. Okay. So it's sort of we're all looking to do things quicker, aren't we? So it helps with that. Okay, Archie. I mean, any other good reasons why you think that this technology is not stopping our intelligence?
So if you take COVID-19 for example, you have Zoom, and then you have other stuff what's helping people learn in there. If we didn't have that, no one would be learning or anything then. And if you didn't, people would be dumber. And if you're in secondary school with proper exams coming up, how are you going to revise for those?
Okay. So they're all putting a really strong argument that actually, I mean, technology isn't, it's a mixed bag, and that it does make things faster, helps you to access things, and, helped us, of course, through COVID-19. I mean, how do you argue that with the technology argument?
So you know how Damien said that adults are more smarter? It could be because of school as well, not just technology online. And this generation I think it's one of the first to be not smarter than the last generation. So it could be that when, how he spoke about the adults getting smarter, but adults could be getting
yes.
not smarter, decreased in human intelligence.
Okay. Do you want to answer that, Damien? So that actually it's, where you haven't really got definitive evidence there that, just because you can access that stuff, it's helped with some literacy because people have found things, but the argument there from Jennifer is that actually there's evidence to the contrary there.
Well, if they're more literate, they are more likely to access correct information on.
Fair point.
On the internet.
Yeah, so that's a positive, isn't it? Mm. So as long as they can, it's helping people to become more literate. They can ask the questions, they can find the evidence. What do you think, Sukaina?
Yeah, he made a good point, but when he first said that they use technology for writing and stuff, they mainly used school for it as well, because school taught you how to learn writing, reading and stuff, and without those skills you wouldn't be able to find them on actual technology and stuff.
So they needed to have had that knowledge to start with in order to have used it to find it. Ibrahim, I think you're wanting to come in on that, aren't you?
Many schools use internet and YouTube to help teach the children how to read and write. So schools also use social media to read and write, to teach them.
Which is sort of Archie's point as well, isn't it? That actually, using all of those, all the things that technology gives you is really a good thing in schools. How do you answer that?
You know how Damien said about literate, many people use autocorrect, which means most of them are not just letting autocorrect finish the word instead of actually making them literate. And courses online, they are teaching, but courses in real life are more better, and you can understand more.
What makes them better? Do you know, doing things in real life rather than doing them
you
online?
Can experience more, and if you need help on something, the teacher can correct it better by going over to your desk and stuff.
So personal interaction, stuff like that? Yeah, that's a very strong argument. Come on, it is better doing things in real life, surely. And all those arguments there. What do you say to that?
But if you go back to COVID-19, we couldn't do that. Would you rather learn or get sick? And if went back then, you couldn't have a teacher with you.
So it was useful at a time. But I think the argument there are, that there's a use for them, but if you only use them, you're missing out on all those human interactions. Do you want to come back to me, and then I'm going to Ibrahim, who's waiting to come in. Is there an argument back?
I feel if you take do it all, what about if you get a teacher who doesn't explain it all? You get AI or just Google to help you, not to just give you the answers. Get them to help you.
Okay, Ibrahim, I'm going to come back to you in a moment.
Listening to him, so you could use Google or AI to fact check what you got wrong, so that way you could also improve and focus on things that you got wrong rather than focusing on things you
Jennifer's
got
already
right.
made the point that often people use those, they don't actually learn it, they just use it to autocorrect if it's spelling, for example, or fact check. But have they then learnt that, or have they just covered their tracks, if you like? I mean, what about that?
They could use it to figure out what they did wrong and figure out the mistake they did wrong.
Okay. Convinced?
Yeah.
They're not convinced, you know. Tell me why you're not convinced.
So you know how he said that Ibrahim said that we can use AI for like their like homework and fact checking and stuff. When thousands of people like use AI for their essays or homework, but this reduces their independent writing skills, and they just rely on AI more, and they're just dependent on it more.
It's building dependency. What do you think? What do you think? I mean, are you honestly saying that you don't become dependent if you know that you can just get on and get, you know, Mr. AI, Mrs. ChatGPT to have a little go at something, means that you don't have to do it? Isn't that a bit sort of seductive? People are going to go that way rather than just do the work? Who wants to answer that? Archie?
Well, I think like I say people do it, but I feel like they should teach you in school it's not the right thing. It's like it's not the AI, it's the people who use it.
Okay, that's a fair point, isn't it, Jennifer? You know, that actually any technology, technology is not new, this particular type of technology, but the wheel is a bit of technology. You know, if we go back, you know, hundreds and thousands of years, there's always been something new, a piece of technology that's allowed us to do something. Is that at fault, or is it how we use it, the person behind it?
So because of how we use it, yeah, it also counts, but technology has influenced us to like use it badly, such as like social media. And also, if he's talking about COVID-19, many people were glued to their phones, like technology in COVID-19 as well.
Yeah. I want to pick up the point about addiction, which maybe has an allied area here. You mentioned the addiction word. Do you want to tell us a bit more about any evidence there is around that? And then I'm going to come to you to answer that, okay? So what are the issues? Is it like an addiction, that notion of once you used it, it does pull you in and get a sense of, I've got to keep using it?
Yes, like some people, because of technology, they have a short attention span, so they can't focus on things. Like they can't concentrate properly, especially if they're focusing on their studies. They have their phone around them, and it buzzes. They immediately go to check it, and they're just sitting there on their phone instead of studying. So it like reduces concentration, and it just makes your attention span become less.
Yeah. I mean, hands up, lads. Who here, when the phone buzzes, goes straight to look at it and doesn't think, oh no, I'll just wait? I mean, straight away?
Not straight away.
Not straight away, okay. Yeah? Are you able to sort of resist the lure of your phone pinging and buzzing and all the rest of it? You are? Okay.
It's not like it's going to go away or anything. It's there. So, like if I'm eating or I'm going to doing studies, why do I need to check my phone when it's going to be there when I get there?
But do you acknowledge, the three of you, because there's evidence to show that there is an addictive quality about it, and if that's so, do you think it's bad?
I feel like people do get addicted to it though, but it's not. They need to use self-control.
Okay.
Yeah, because misusing technology can be harmful, but technology itself isn't actually the problem. It's how people use it.
But how do we help those people to not get, to be able to say no, to be able to put it to one side? Because, you know, you're right in saying technology in and of itself, but if it's trying to pull you in, making things shorter, faster, click here, you know, lots of ways in which we know it does sort of pull you in. That's the evidence I think you're looking at, isn't it? You know, what could be done or what should be done about that, Ibrahim?
The screen time.
Okay.
And like features that like lock some apps that you're addicted to.
Yeah. But do we think that should happen Is that something, I mean, I think you're suggesting, Archie, that it should be down to the individual to say they shouldn't, but we know that some people, it does affect them, doesn't it? So what do we think should happen, Jennifer?
I think that technology should be like, most people can't like control themselves. They usually just addict, and even if they have limited screen times, they always like surpass it, and they just like, there's usually a button that like, they usually like delete the app for screen time or like take away the screen time because they're like already addicted to their phones and they can't like take away the addiction.
Yeah, I mean that's the nature of addiction, isn't it? That somebody just saying, "Oh, I shouldn't do it." They're probably not addicted in that case, are they? Yeah. So what do we? Is there a consensus? Is there an agreement that we can come to here that we think there should be some sort of regulation or whatever it might be, or are you just kind of all for saying, no, look, you know, it's really good. It's not. It's good for. It's not stopping or harming our intelligence.
I feel like it has to be down to like for example, you know, like schools, they tell you stuff like, you tell you what's right or wrong, and it's their like parents who like how they raise them, tell them to not go on their screen time all the time. I feel like people are addicted, but they need to find the right way.
Okay, and it's personal support, peer group, family, that kind of thing. Do you both agree with that, or?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they should be taught how to use the internet.
Okay, so
how to use it correctly.
So the proposition on this side is, as long as people are taught how to use it properly, it should be fine. But I suspect that's not going to impress either of you.
I think the older generation doesn't know how to use like social media and all that, since all this new technology that was introduced, they didn't get to experience it back in when they were like a teenager. So they might not know how to parent their children correctly, and
you may not know the dangers of it, perhaps, in the same way then.
And when we're talking about addiction, there's also attention spans. Attention spans has shrunk from 2.5 minutes to 47 seconds.
Which isn't good, folks, is it? No?
If we have reduced attention spans, it affects their intelligence, as they can't like it, since attention spans like ignores in distractions and sustains like deep work.
So Ken, anything you want to add to that?
Not add to that, but you know when Archie said that in COVID-19 they were like, they used technology, they were still glued to their phones, they used their phones, and because of that habit, it's became a habit and they still use it now. And technology has technology has changed how people interact with others. This is proven by researchers. They can argue that this can reduce opportunities to develop communication skills.
Okay, so shorter attention spans, fewer communication skills. You've got to say that those aren't good things, yeah?
They aren't good, but I feel like it's how it's gone up recently. Is like we need to like control it more. I agree. There's less attention span, and I agree people have been stuck to their phone. But what we actually need to do about that is what we need to think.
Yeah.
Technology also improves communication, like people can share their ideas with like experts and learn from it, and like also students can like share work and like learn from it.
Yeah. Ibrahim, do you want to add anything finally?
I was thinking that for the shorter attention span, I think it's because they get their work summarised in like quicker, so they get all the key parts done and they miss out like little details. So I think it's more important to get the key parts done, which is the reason I think that people have shorter attention span.
I don't think we're going to find an agreement. I think I mean, it sounds like you're all aware of both the pluses and the minuses, but you don't necessarily agree how it would be dealt with. It clearly is an issue, and it's only going to continue to be an issue. What I would say, folks, is that if we've got these brains on it at this stage in their lives, this is really good, because it's going to take your age group who've grown up with it thinking this stuff through and really helping to kind of come to grips with it. So I'm going to say a very big thank you to students here from the Archbishop Ilsley School. What an interesting topic for us to be getting under the skin of. So thank you all very much for that, and that's the end of it for now.